Alright, looks like everything's working. Hello, welcome to my first stream, guys. Welcome to the first stream. So over here I have a playlist of random shit or stuff. Am I allowed to say bad words? Ignore the giant rash on my face. I'm dying or something. No big deal. Alright, let's see. What do we got here?
President Trump is...
This seems important. This seems very important. Moxie, can you please not do that? Moxie? Moxie, could you please not be there? Moxie, could you please not be there? Could you not be there, bud? Oh. This is my pet goldfish. His name is Moxie. And he likes to get in the way. He has some weird kind of tendency where he doesn't do anything unless I'm doing something. So for example, if I'm just like laying around, he won't do anything. If I leave the room, he won't do anything. But if I'm in the room and I try to do something, then all of a sudden there he is, and he wants to do it too. So we're just gonna let him just go off and just be a cat.
Not without a kiss, though. Not without a big kiss. Not without a big kiss first. Love you, buddy.
Anyway, he is a hairy bastard. They didn't tell me that when I was getting him. They didn't tell me that. I would have just said, no thanks. No thanks. Thanks anyway. I'm good. I can just ball up my hat and hang out with that. Sorry. Okay. Geez, look at Trump's wife. Man. What a bitch. Okay. So, I wanted to react to some things today. Some things that are very important and need commentary. They're going to need my input. Okay, so here's the first thing. President Trump says he takes 4 times recommended aspirin dosage. Well, isn't that just so interesting, guys? That is so interesting. I can't believe this isn't front page news everywhere. Let's see what this very important news has to say. Mind you, this is after he said Tylenol caused autism. Had to do the old take-backs on that one. Probably because it's really stupid and he's really dumb. Anyway, here we go.
revealing that he takes 4 times the daily aspirin dosage that...
Wow! Wait, I gotta hear that again.
President Trump is revealing that he takes 4 times the daily aspirin dosage that doctors usually recommend. Trump says he takes 325 milligrams of aspirin a day for cardiac prevention, but he acknowledges his doctors say he should be really taking a baby aspirin dose, which is 81 milligrams.
It's true.
He'd rather have me take the smaller one, 79-year-old Trump tells the Wall Street Journal. I take the larger one, but I've done it for years. They say aspirin is good for heart. I want nice, thin blood pouring through my heart.
Wow. Okay, so before they tell you why this is stupid, I'm going to tell you why this is stupid. They give you the baby dose. If you're taking it daily for cardiac reasons, you're supposed to take 81 milligrams. Okay, that's the baby dose. So his dose is more like if you have a super gnarly headache. It's not like he's not taking like a crazy overdose amount. But he's completely missing the point that you only want the minimal blood thinning effect to help your heart. You know, you're going to have to thin your blood a little bit more than what is ideal if you want to help your pain. But of course, Trump logic is just, you know, oh, if 81 milligrams is good, then what's wrong with 381 milligrams, right? That's even better. Everything's better if you just multiply it. That's the logic here. Just in case you guys need my input on that.
He asked LA cardiologist Dr. Rigved Tadwalker for his opinion.
Rigved Tadwalker, for the record, Rigved Tadwalker, for the record, Rigved Tadwalker, for the record, is very good doctor. He has touched me with gloves on.
By modern standards, there isn't a reason to take aspirin.
Dr. Rigved Tadwalker. That's a fucking name right
He
there.
asked LA cardiologist Dr. Rigved Tadwalker for his opinion.
For the vast majority of individuals, by modern standards, there isn't a reason to take aspirin 325 milligrams daily.
Trump says the amount
So they went to this guy's doctor's office and they're like, hey, can you stop treating patients for a minute? We need to do an interview because the president is an idiot and we need clicks on our videos. So can you just say something really fucking obvious really quick? And we're going to use that in this very important video. Like, come on, guys. Come on. At this point, I'm more annoyed. At this point, I'm more annoyed by news agencies like trying to make stories out of this type of stuff than I am at Trump. Honestly. Like, I mean, the guy's, he's dumb. He's very, very dumb. He's not smart. He's stupid. He's old-fashioned, and he's probably too stubborn to learn anything. And we all fucking know that at this point. So, I mean, let's cover, let's get him impeached or something, let's do something useful. But no, we gotta go to Dr.
They say aspirin is good for thinning out the blood.
Rigved Tadwalker.
Pouring through my heart. I want nice, thin blood pouring through my heart. We asked LA cardiologist Dr. Rigved Tadwalker for his opinion.
For the vast majority of individuals,
They're like, hey, Dr. Rigved Tadwalker, sir, could you just get on your computer and just type furiously and pretend that you're just, I don't know, searching for the cure for cancer or something? Whatever doctors do. Because we all know this is a real doctor right here. You got to be typing furiously. Let's see if he's even typing stuff.
LA cardiologist Dr. Rigved Tadwalker for his opinion.
for the vast majority of individuals, by modern standards, there isn't a reason to take aspirin 325 milligrams daily.
Trump
Also, Dr. Tagva Dickwalker does not wear a white lab coat at his practice. I know this because I've been there. And so I guessing they brought that. They had it like in the props department. They're like, hey, Dr. Tagved Dickwalker, can you put on this white lab coat and just type vigorously on your keyboard? Great. Now can you tell everyone what the back of the Tylenol bottle says? Or the aspirin bottle, I mean. Can you just read the back of this aspirin bottle, Dr. Tagved? Thank you.
The amount of aspirin he takes makes him bruise easily, which could partly explain the bruises we've seen on his hands, which he sometimes covers up with makeup.
Oh my
He's
God.
also apparently ignoring his doctor's advice regarding wearing compression socks to deal with swelling of his ankles.
Oh.
Caused
Is that going to say chronic varicose veins? Is that what that's going to say? Hold on.
chronic venous.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh man, that actually sucks. This reminds me of my mom's parents. They literally just, first of all, rest in peace, all respect to them. But they literally just could not get off the baked goods. And they had a lot of problems like this. It's not cool. That's not fun. If you look at his, if you look right here, that's not fun. That's not fun. That's swelling. That's a lot of swelling. But listen, man, the guy's got to listen to the doctors, man. Compression socks. Compression socks don't actually work that well. In fact, sometimes you want to do the opposite. Tight socks can actually make stuff like this a little worse. But he needs compression socks because if you look, the socks, he wears high socks, and the swelling is clearly happening in the sock area. So yes, he would need compression socks.
By chronic venous insufficiency. I didn't like them, he says of the compression socks, which are kind of difficult to put on. The president spent New Year's Eve at Mar-a-Lago, and the First Lady sure looked sensational in a daring $1,500 metallic gown.
Wow. Awesome. Wow, I think my first stream is going really well so far. I think we've covered some really important stuff. All right, let's see. What is this? My son took hormones to change gender.
Welcome to a new
Auto-dubbed. So I got this in my recommended. Dude, it's got 12K views. I don't know how stuff like this gets pushed. It literally had like 17 views when it showed up in my recommended the other day. So, and this guy, actually this channel, to be fair, had a lot of subscribers already, but I don't really know why. They're probably just a variety channel. Let's see. Una mirada libertaria. I believe that means like a free look, something? The look of freedom or something like that. Let's see, anti-trans stuff. Yeah, drunk woman knocked out by waiter. What did I say, guys? It's gonna be a random variety channel. Progressives walk imaginary dogs? Okay, we might just spend all day on this channel. This looks amazing, but let's see what this guy has to say. My son took hormones to change gender behind my back with the support of his teacher, fire emoji.
Welcome to a new episode of Surviving in Progrelland. Congratulations if you're still alive here, because it's getting harder and harder to survive in these parts, especially if you have children. My son took gender-changing hormones to transition behind my back with the support of his boarding school.
Oh, the support of his boarding school? Well, maybe you shouldn't have put him in a fucking boarding school, you big giant bastard.
Remember that your taxes go to health and education? Well, that's what they're actually for. They're for both things.
Taxes don't go to boarding schools usually. I mean, I don't know how they do it in whatever place he said he's in. But usually boarding schools are private.
Hey, Moxie, can you please fuck off? Hey.
Health and education. But we'll
Moxie,
leave
no.
the news for the end of the video, and let's review what's happening in our beloved Progrelland.
Progrellum, wherever the hell that is.
This girl is happy and dancing very happily because births around the world are decreasing. Of course,
I just gotta say one thing really quick. That song, that's a really good song, man. You gotta just, you hate to see good songs get kind of co-opted by TikTok. You hate to see that because it somehow ruins them.
Hi, give me a kiss, guys. He loves me. He loves me. He loves me.
All right, Moxie, let's see what this guy has to say.
every screw in place. Don't think otherwise. In the human species, well, something similar is happening to animals, where people are already giving signals to the opposite gender about their intentions when it comes to their physical appearance. And I would like to thank all those feminists who take this girl's path. And it's that a feminist dies and cuts her hair in a grotesque way to scare men away. Please.
I'm sorry. I'm a cis hetero male, but I don't have a problem with that haircut. That haircut doesn't scare me away. In fact, I'd probably have an easier time, building up the confidence to talk to a girl with hair like that than like, someone that looks like Erica Kirk or something. Come on, Moxie, please. What are you doing, man? He's all up in my shit. He's all up in the wires. He's probably gonna knock the camera over. Can you stop, dude? Please back up. All right, let's continue to listen to this. It's really great to see the American influence on the rest of the world. I'm pretty sure America is responsible for this kind of thing, like dudes just complaining about the most benign shit. Dudes just complaining about progressives and blah, blah, blah. It seems like it's really catching on, you know? Fascism is really catching on. It makes me really proud. All right, let's keep watching.
This really become a trend among the left.
Oh my God, guys. Look how crazy this is, guys. What's going on? The West has fallen. This girl's cutting her hair. And it's orange. Yeah, let's keep watching that. Look at this fucking guy, dude.
Let's
Who... Am I crazy? Or out of the two people in this video, one of them looks way ridiculous. One of these people looks ridiculous and pathetic. And it's not the fucking girl with the orange hair. It's not. It's this guy. What the fuck is he doing?
become a trend among the left.
Bro. So the first person that I told about this this idea to do like reaction content was like, that's the lowest of the low. Like, you're just stealing other people's content. And I'm not saying he's wrong, but I mean, this is the lowest of the low, right? This guy is the lowest of the low because he is taking videos of people like this and he doesn't even have anything insightful to say except that like, look at this leftist. She's cutting her bangs. Isn't that crazy? And I get it. He's upset because his son took hormones to change their gender behind his back with the support of their teacher. So let's try and maintain a little bit of sympathy for this guy. Sure, he's really going through it. Let's give him the old 1-2-5 treatment. Oh.
Let's see.
Wow.
There's nothing to criticize this girl for. If with all the signs, with all the facilities she's giving you, you still want to go out with her or have any interaction with her, let's see, easier, simpler, she hasn't been able to make it there for you. It's 100% your fault. Let's go to Canada now. A church...
All right, this this has got to be just bad interpretation. I don't think this guy, I'm sure this guy's an idiot, but I highly doubt he speaks so incomprehensibly. I gotta just hear what he said there again. First, he said there's nothing wrong with this girl or something. I agree with that part. There's really nothing to criticize this girl.
See. There's nothing to criticize this girl for.
Yeah.
If with all the signs, with all the facilities she's giving you, you still want to go out with her or have any interaction with her, let's see, easier, simpler, she hasn't been able to make it there for you.
What? Let's see, easy, simpler, she hasn't been able to make it there for you. This is a bad dub.
It's 100% your fault. Let's go to Canada now.
It's 100%, it is 100% my fault. He's right about that. I did make that lady cut her hair. I'm behind it all.
Vancouver brought a transvestite to speak in front of a child. Oh, another day at the office in Krogerlandia. Here this morning as I am most Sunday mornings. Queen of the back row of the choir. I like that. You know what? I think we can, but we can punch up. Queen of the basses will also suffice. Unless Ian or Cliff, one of you wants to be the queen.
Why is this dubbed? It was clearly in English.
No, but seriously, I love being a part of this community as a part of the choir. You know, music is such a beautiful way to connect with ourselves, with spirituality, with the world around us. And I'm so excited I get to share this part of me too, because let me tell you you can keep going. Oh boy, that feels good. I'm really deprived for affection. No, but seriously, one of the things about drag is that unlike Vegas, what happens in drag does not necessarily stay in drag. Sometimes you put on those heels, sometimes you put on that wig, sometimes...
Alright, what the hell is going on? Alright, get to the part where your kid did whatever, because this is just ridiculous, man. Alright, let's see what he's got to say about this shocking video of... Oh, is this a church? Oh, is this something weird going on in a church? Oh my god. I am so shocked. There's something weird, kind of weird going on inside of a church. Oh.
fierce in you in front of some children. The most normal thing in the world. And it's not that this person went out dressed however she wanted, with whatever makeup she wanted, to talk about the choir, to sing a religious song in church, or to talk about math in front.
Because I'm sure if that's what she had done, you would have no problem, sir. I'm sure that if she had just talked about the Bible and sang a Christian hymn, you would have no problem with them being in drag, sir.
Some kids. No, it's not that she's talking about these topics for those kids. What stays in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But that's not always the case with drag because it awakens fierce things in you. The most normal thing in the world in progressive land. But hey, let's calm things down because it's good to debate.
I'm so glad that my first video I'm ever reacting to is a reacted video. This is very meta.
Woman dared to debate with her Muslim friend, and when she mentioned Muhammad, he exploded in a non-literal way and threatened to, well, make her do this to him.
Oh wow, is this gonna be some Islamophobia here? What the hell is going on? There's not even audio for this part. Dude, I can't believe this got 12K views. Seriously, when it showed up on my thing, it had like 17 views, I think. It was just, I don't know, YouTube's been putting these really random videos in my For You that's like, that like don't have any views yet. But I mean, the thing is that those videos aren't totally random because they are putting them in people's For Yous for whatever reason. And it clearly works.
And no, you can get along with your child as best you want. You can have infinite trust, but you are always going to have to be their father. You are always going to have to teach them boundaries, guide them in their life, in their development. And many want to be, as I say, their colleagues and do not.
Hold on, sorry, I just spotted something. Does this say un poco nerd? I think that means little nerd. That's kind of what this guy is. I mean, he's sitting down, but I feel like he's little.
Interfere in their life.
He's little!
No, it is not the child's privacy. He will know what he is doing. Well, he will know what he is doing. They end up in stories like this. What I did not realize, she continues, was that behind these chess games, he was chatting with strangers who encouraged him to transition. They were the first men who told him that he could be.
It wasn't even this guy's son. It wasn't even this guy's son.
Suffering from gender dysphoria. I only discovered all this when, I do not know how this is translated.
It wasn't this guy's son. It's also a written account. I mean, this is basically creepypasta status of, you know, validity. Anyone can write anything in a forum.
As an obedient father, or it will be concerned. I checked his WhatsApp messages. One day I discovered that he had been added to a group with his older sister and some of her friends. Some of these friends were identifying as trans and were giving him advice. You need to get medication before you develop. Someone in the group was telling him. Alarm bells obviously went off immediately. His mother and I, because the person telling this is the father of this boy, his mother and I said, even though we are separated, we confronted him immediately. Pay attention to this part. I had already given Jonathan, that is, the son, permission to change his name to androgynous at his school. Believing in good faith, the mother thought that if we did not do so, we would somehow seem transphobic in good faith.
This is the worst translation dub ever. In good faith, what did he...
Permission to change his name to androgynous at his school.
I'm sure he didn't change his name to androgynous. Maybe he changed his name to something more androgynous or, you know, less commonly gendered. Like, I don't think he changed his name to the word androgynous in good faith.
Believing in good faith, the mother thought that if we did not do so, we would somehow seem transphobic in good faith. She was not thinking here, obviously, about the well-being of the child. She was thinking about her own well-being. She was, thinking about her own argument to the father at that time. I let my son start doing these kinds of things because I was afraid that society would accuse me of being transphobic. That's what happens when you put yourself first, subjugate yourself to progressive ideology, and then put your own interests before your child's well-being. He continued.
Is that, I mean, is it possible to be trying to do right by your kid while also trying not to be transphobic? Are those two things mutually exclusive? I don't understand the problem here. I don't see how those can't be mutually exclusive. I mean, I don't see how they have to be mutually exclusive.
He would listen to us more when it came to the more serious issues of gender identity like medication or surgery. We were kind to the boy. We explained to him that he was too young to even think about these medications, that if he was serious he could take them when he was older. He seemed to agree. We locked his mobile phone so that he could only access calls and not the website. What I didn't realize was that his school would betray us completely. I went to a prestigious boarding school, posh progressive at that, run by home canties, and although I had a scholarship, it cost us over £20,000 a year.
That's weird. That sounds like a private school, doesn't it? That's weird. Could have sworn they said something earlier that was very indicative of this being publicly funded with tax money.
Posh progressive, but I don't know if it was more progressive or posh. £20,000 a year. We thought he would get the best education possible, and more importantly, we thought he would be safe. How wrong we were. When Jonathan returned to school after lockdown, aged 15, he told the school GP that if he didn't get, these intersex hormones that would feminize his appearance, he would end up doing this.
Ooh, I see.
She immediately had him admitted to the local hospital, and his
That's Spanish for ending it all.
mother and I went to collect him. It was terrifying. After the summer holidays, in September 2021, Jonathan was still demanding these drugs. We kept saying no. What I didn't discover until much later was that the school was aggressively affirming him as a woman. I mean, the school was reassuring him that this boy was actually a girl, by giving him a girl's uniform and even putting him on the girls' sports team.
Oh my gosh. On the sports team. Damn, he was probably really fucking good, huh?
I took the extra steps. I linked his computer, his laptop to mine, and told him that I could monitor every site he visited and every chat he had. I wasn't going to take any chances from now on. However, we were so worried that he was going to do something stupid regarding medication that we asked the school for written confirmation that they would not help him obtain any medication and that they would alert us if he tried, which they agreed to.
Man, I did not mean to stumble into such difficult content for my first ever stream, but I don't really know who this guy wants us to be mad at or who he's mad at. It's really hard to like pin down. I mean, the kid has to be totally innocent, right? That's the only way that this kind of critique works. The kid is completely innocent. The kid is a victim, right? The kid, this kid only thinks they're transgender, but obviously they have no idea about anything because they're just a kid, right? And then you got the school. You got to be mad at the school. You can't be mad at the parents because the parents, that's who this guy is like surrogate for the parents. He wants us to basically see this through the parents' point of view. Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out, sorry. Also, I want to figure out what is Fondo de Bacchus. Okay, I thought it said Bacchus, which would have been mouths. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the big conspiracy is here for this guy. I'm not really sure. You know, this is obviously a weird situation. It's a complicated situation. But I think this guy really wants to just oversimplify it and say, you know, this is evil or someone's evil. But I'm not really sure who. I guess just the school?
However, later that year, when he was 16, and bypassing the computer, which was linked to mine, instead using a school computer, meaning the boy knew his computer was bugged and so he used a school computer, he contacted a website that provided these medications, even to young people.
Really? There's a website where you can get... puberty blockers just online? I kind of didn't know that.
What would he do with these types of websites or the people who run these websites? Can you imagine? I've since seen the emails between him and this clinic that's based overseas. One of the questions they asked him was if he wanted breasts. Of course he said yes. I firmly believe that what drives many of these teens are sexual urges, and they are being manipulated by older men online like the men he was chatting with during the chess games. The clinic told Jonathan that he needed counseling first. We later learned that it was an
Okay. The fuck?
session before they sent him a box full of hormones and sex blockers. Incredibly, the clinic paid for it themselves out of something they call a scholarship fund. I mean, taxes, I guess. He had pleaded poverty, so they sent him the drugs for free. We now know that the box of drugs Jonathan received included this one here, which blocks testosterone, as well as feminizing hormones.
Finasteride? Finasteride? That's not what that fucking does, bro. Don't ask me how I know this, unless I'm wrong, but isn't finasteride like for, when you lose all your hair? Oh no, it's a prostate supplement? Wait, finasteride. Yeah, it's for Propecia. It's for Propecia. What? Dude, so this is a prostate or Propecia medication. All right, and just to make sure that I'm not just being a dick here, let's make sure that finasteride is finasteride. I'm pretty sure it is. Pretty sure it is. It definitely is, guys. It definitely is. All right, so that's kind of weird. So he's saying finasteride is a hormone blocker. It's not.
As well as feminizing hormones for estrogen and progesterone, which seemed surprisingly easy to get, but at the time neither his mother nor I had any idea. Every time we saw him on calls or even in person, we noticed that he was getting chubbier, but we chalked it up to him being a typical teenage boy who wasn't eating properly. But let's see. You have these parents who have this problem with their son. They're going through all this, and despite being so worried, they keep him in a boarding school where they only see him through video calls.
That's the first good point this guy has fucking made, bro.
Anyway, surviving in Progrelandia is hard, especially
Because look, guys, here's the issue, okay? I'm not gonna sit here on my very first stream ever, and I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna say that I know exactly what's right for a 15-year-old who is transgender. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't have any kids. That's tough. That is a tough situation for the parents, but it is really the parents that have to, you know, navigate that. And sending your kid off to a boarding school, I mean, that's about as distant as you can get, right? Besides a military school where they don't even let you have contact, if that's even a thing anymore. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who we're supposed to be mad at here. I feel like this is supposed to be political. I mean, considering the other videos on this channel, you know, considering the fact that it opened up with just very, very benign video of a girl cutting her bangs, and that was like his opener for this. Like, look at this disgusting feminist with orange hair. She's cutting her bangs in a way that makes me not want to have sex with her. Like, what?
if you have children, but sometimes some people put all the stones in place to make everything go wrong.
Yeah.
It was a smart neighbor who first alerted me to the fact that Jonathan might be taking medication. She had seen him when she was visiting my house and already had some experience with friends who identified as trans.
By the way, guys, we're treating this story as if it's true, which is obviously not at all verifiable. This is just some stuff that somebody wrote. If you think that there aren't people writing fake stories like this, you're very naive. There very much are. And a lot of them are Russian.
He knew that Jonathan demanded the medication and recognized the demasculinization in his face. She told me, the neighbor, I think
This neighbor, this neighbor recognized the demasculinization of a child's face. Imagine a neighbor coming over to you and being like, hey man, listen, I think your son might be on hormones. His face, it looks like it's feminizing. That's so weird.
Jonathan might be taking cross-sex hormones. I didn't want to believe her, but suspiciously I hacked into another gaming computer he had where I found emails revealing what had been going on. My heart sank. Not only was it obvious that he had been taking these types of drugs for over a year, but the school was fully aware of it. He had even been using the £20 a month spending money his mother sent him to pay for his subsidized supply of drugs.
I thought they gave it to him for free. Also, £20 a month? What's that, like $21? That's fucking horseshit, Mom.
We confronted the school demanding to know what was going on. To our surprise, they admitted that they knew. The headmaster said that keeping it a secret from us had been the hardest decision of his career, but that if he had sought legal advice, he would have covered. The headmaster, obviously what he cared about wasn't the life of this child or the lives of the parents or this family. He cared about having his back fully covered.
He just said if he had sought legal advice, which someone who was thinking about covering their own ass would definitely do, he just said that he would have done the opposite. So what the fuck? This is the second time this guy's trying to paint someone as like selfish when I don't think selfishness is the culprit here. I think maybe he did care about this kid. Maybe he was trying to do what he thought was right for this kid. It's kind of what it sounds like to me. I mean, why skew things in this weird way where it's like no one can possibly have sympathy or like want to help someone that's transgender. This stuff only happens by the actions of totally self-absorbed parties that are just selfish and only care about themselves. It's like, no, I don't think that's what's going on here. He just said, let's listen to it again. But he just said, if I had taken legal advice, I would have not covered it up.
The headmaster, obviously what he cared about wasn't the life of pay for his subsidized supply of drugs. We immediately confronted the school demanding to know what was going on. To our surprise, they admitted that they knew. The headmaster said that keeping it a secret from us had been the hardest decision of his career, but that if he had sought legal advice, he would have covered. The headmaster, obviously what he cared about wasn't the life of this child or the lives of the parents or this family. He cared about having his back fully covered. He had been told that it was the right decision because it was Jonathan's private health matter. We were extremely angry, especially as we had written a confirmation from them saying they would not help him. We stopped spending...
Okay, I don't even know. Now I'm just confused about that part. It really sounded like he was saying, if I had sought legal advice, I wouldn't have covered it up. But this guy's interpreting it as the opposite, where he did seek legal advice and they told him to cover it up, which is not at all believable.
Immediately, but Jonathan, who was now 18, was defiant and determined to continue taking these drugs.
Who was now 18? How the hell did that happen? 3 years just happened? What? This story is bonkers.
At that point, we were at a loss. We were more furious with the school than with our son, and although we wanted to protect him, we also wanted him to succeed in his studies, so we didn't take him out of school. But at this point, what difference does his studies make? However, he failed them spectacularly.
Wait. What do you mean, at this point, what difference does his studies make? What the fuck does that mean? He's been taking puberty blockers. Fuck his studies. Education doesn't matter. None of that matters now. All that matters is his gender identity. That's all that matters now. Who cares about educating a teenager? Who cares about that?
Oh, what a shock. In another shock, 4 months later, he took £4,000 out of his children's trust fund and flew to America to be with one of the men he had met online and, oh my goodness, this is getting murkier and murkier.
Yeah, it really is.
Convinced him that he should be a woman. He has since cut off all contact with me as well as his mother and even his sister who had supported him through this transition. I'm feeling so many emotions today, the father says throughout this story. I would like to take legal action against the school, but it takes time and money. I miss my son terribly and I hope he comes back to us one day.
Okay. First of all, I want to say if this story is true and these are real parents, then, okay, like, I'm sorry. It sounds really difficult. Second of all, though, I want to say I don't think this story is true. I don't think these are real parents. In fact, right before I paused, they said something about if they could afford
I'm feeling so
if they could afford it, they would take legal action.
many emotions today. The father says throughout this story, I would like to take legal action against the school, but it takes time and money.
It takes time and money. You have time and you have money. You sent your kid to a 20 grand a year fucking boarding school. Obviously, if this was real, if these parents were real, they would have been taking legal action a long time ago. They wouldn't have let him magically turn 18 and then be like, well, we would have liked to have done something. No, this is fake. But if it's not, then I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure it is.
This my son.
I'm almost positive.
I hope he comes back to us one day. My wife compares it to war. She says that previous generations would send their children to battle and you never knew if they would return safe and sound. She feels that way right now. As for websites that traffic in these types of drugs, I think we are in the presence of evil. They are harming children and ruining lives. The people behind them should be in jail.
What's the website?
Anyway, this is today's video with less laughter or less humor than...
Oh my god, bro. I don't think that this story is real at all. No mention of the name of the school, no mention of the name of the website that apparently gives underage kids puberty blockers for free. He turns 15 to 18 magically and moves away. The parents say they would like to take legal action. Then fucking do it. What do you mean? Like, this is fake. This is totally fake. And guys, you need to be aware of stuff like this because bigoted people tend to be occasionally, and I know this sounds crazy, kind of imaginative. And like the person that wrote this probably thinks that stuff like this happens. This didn't actually happen to them, but they probably somehow squared it away with themselves that writing this was a good thing. Because in their mind, they're just thinking, well, I'm representing parents that, are too embarrassed or whatever to actually write their story or something. I don't fucking know. It's just not real. The story is complete bullshit.
But I think it is necessary, and I think that many people may, above all, raise a red flag about not giving your children too much freedom today, especially on the internet. But also be very careful with what is happening in schools today. And that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for staying with me until the end of this video.
What is this? The United States has captured Maduro. What? I don't even want to click on that. Dude, okay, what? If the US goes, I feel like I'm going crazy because I'm pretty sure they're pulling in Iraq with Venezuela. Remember when United States went to war in Iraq because of a terrorist attack that had nothing to do with Iraq? Now, it's like, okay, we're gonna blow up a few fishing boats and say there was drugs, and now we want to go to war to Venezuela. I mean, or whatever. But why might the United States want to go to war with Venezuela? Well, maybe the same reason they went to war with Iraq. How much oil is in Venezuela? Do the American spelling here. Oh, what is this? Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves in the world. Oh, wow. What a coincidence. What a crazy coinkadink that the next country that the United States is going to war with for completely made up reasons has the largest. Man, if only... See, unfortunately for the United States government, the guys who did 9/11, for whatever reason, happened to be Middle Eastern, so they couldn't really connect it to Venezuela. I mean, they still connected it to completely random Middle Eastern countries that had nothing to do with it. Like, we know that those guys were funded by Saudi Arabia, but we're friends with Saudi Arabia, so we can't go there. And, you know, so it was Iraq. It was just Iraq. Fine, it's Iraq. It's Iraq, guys. Now they're doing the same shit. This is the same shit. This is the exact same shit. Like, and fentanyl, that's the excuse this time. I mean, it gets flimsier and flimsier, man. At least before they made up weapons of mass destruction. That actually sounds like something scary, but I guess the idea is that Trump is calling fentanyl a weapon of mass destruction, which I guess you could say it is. It's a really, really strong, very potent drug. You can very easily overdose on it. I do think we'll see overdoses going down because people are adjusting to the strength. For a while, it was a brand new chemical compound that was surreptitiously replacing other opiates that are much less stronger per gram. So anyway, I'm not saying fentanyl's good. I mean, dude, if you break a bone or something, yeah, hook that shit up. You're gonna need that shit. But like, obviously, addiction's not good. But I don't think fentanyl's coming from Venezuela. You fucking liars. Pretty sure it mostly comes from China. And also, those boats that were blowing up didn't have drugs on them. If they had drugs on them, they had like a bag of weed or something. Because those boats were hella fucking small. Hella fucking small. Let's see. Go to DuckDuckGo because I'm sponsored by DuckDuckGo. By the way, use DuckDuckGo. Don't use Google. Okay. Venezuela. Drug boats. Yeah, you see this boat, guys? Do you see this boat right here? This is not how this is not how it works, okay? Even if all of this was cocaine right there, if that was all cocaine, fentanyl, sorry. It's probably cocaine, that's why I said cocaine. Fentanyl comes from China mostly, but let's say all of this was the real bad druggy drugs. You see that white stuff? Oh boy, that looks like drugs. See right here? That's a human, right? That's a human being. Do you see the size of this boat? This is a fucking fishing boat. This is not even like a big fishing boat. This is like I take my son out to catch some fish on the weekends boat. Okay? And even if all of this was drugs, all of this right here, do you understand how small of an amount that is?
3 o'clock.
That's not how it comes in. It comes in by the fucking buttload, by the ton. This isn't economically fucking feasible. They're trying to say this guy was driving this boat with this engine right here, to America with all these drugs. Bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. This one right here, this one's even worse. You want to know why? Well, that's a bad picture. What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? Colombia seizes 1.2 tons of cocaine after denouncing U.S. strike against Venezuela drug boat. Oh, look what it is, guys. Oh, look at this. That's funny. That's funny, isn't it? That's funny. It's not the drug that's killing 100,000 people a year. It's the drug that Trump and his friends probably fucking do every weekend. 2 people were captured. Okay, so sounds like this was the more normal way to do a drug bust, which is, you don't blow the fucking ship to smithereens, and you actually secure the drugs as evidence that you didn't just blow up a fishing boat, stuff like that. So yeah, I clicked on this just to make sure this wasn't one of the ones that Trump blew up. It's not. It's not. This is a boat that Colombian authorities seized, and surprise, surprise, it's cocaine. And it was bound for Spain. It was bound for Spain. Well, okay then. Yeah, this is crazy, man. So they're gonna blow up a few innocent fishing boats. And then somehow this is gonna get leveraged into a war. A war. More like United States forces just going and destroying another country. Jesus Christ. I just got chills. I just got chills. You know what? I think we need some comic relief. Don't tread on me. Uh, that's funny. Pretty sure that's Virginia. Is that the flag of Virginia? I should probably know that. Uh-oh, trans woke influencer defends the Palestinian cause. It ends badly. Oh, her face is all fucked up. Oh, wow. Did some evil trans person get their comeuppance for defending a people that are being genocided right now? Man, I tell you, the left is out of control, guys. The left is out of control. I don't like this guy anymore. I didn't like him at all to begin with, but I really don't like him now. Fuck you, guy.
In today's video, we have a lesbian who abandoned Christianity.
Ha ha, they gave you a girl's voice. They gave you a girl's voice. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Now his neighbor's gonna come over. Say, hey man, your voice sounds kind of feminized, bro. You might be taking some alopecia meds.
In today's video, we have a lesbian who abandoned Christianity because it oppressed her too much and ended up becoming a Muslim. A trans left-wing influencer who supported the Palestinian cause and Muslims in Europe like no one else, being beaten. Well, you can imagine. In a survey that is shaking all of France, which we will now analyze in depth. But let's first talk about this woman who was oppressed by Christianity and who has now liberated herself.
All right, this might be too stupid. This might be too stupid. This might be too stupid. This is the most random playlist. Could you be autistic? Now this interests me.
So let's get started talking about what is autism. But before we do that, just a quick mention.
What's going on with the audio? What's going on with the audio?
That I'm in no way
Fuck.
a medical.
What's going on with the audio? Later, are you watching? Later, are you watching? Later, are you watching? What's going on with the audio? Why does it sound all fucked up?
healthcare professional. And this video is not intended, nor should it be used, as a diagnostic tool. I'm just an autistic guy, sharing my lived experiences and...
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Wait a minute.
So let's get started talking about what is...
Oh, the audio's fucked up. Well, it was a good run, guys. It was a good run. Good first stream. I gotta figure this out now. I feel like if the audio sounds this messed up to me, it probably does not sound right.
is autism. But before we do that, just a quick mention that I'm in no way a medical healthcare...
Yeah, that sounds
and this
terrible. There's a bunch of weird, wet sound effects going on. It's gross. Okay. That was a good stream.